statistics say 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer during their lifetime, and 1 in 1,000 men will. In fact, statistics say that if you are overweight, your chances increase anywhere from 35 to 55% on getting breast cancer if you're overweight. How many of you in here know someone that is either diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggles to lose weight? It's an epidemic, which takes us right into our second category, healthy weight loss product. We have a product, our featured product is Plexus Slim. This is an all-natural weight loss product that is made of plant extracts, sweetened with stevia, and a little pomegranate in it for flavoring. It was originally in a type 2 diabetic trial. During the course of the trial, the most amazing thing happened. While the people were using the product, their blood sugars started leveling out, their blood pressure went down, their cholesterol went down, and as a side effect, they began to lose weight and sleep better. Who would love the side effect to be losing weight and sleeping better? Anybody heard a commercial lately where those are not the side effects? Yeah. And so this product, actually the side effects is to help you lose weight and sleep better. But how many of you in here have ever been on a diet before? Don't be scared, raise your hand if you've been on a diet before. How about a second diet? Now that's my icebreaker, okay? So, well, I find that if diets worked, we'd all be exactly the way we want to be. But that's not the case. And a lot of people struggle to lose weight. And even getting your blood sugars under control sometimes is not everything you need. So we have a support product for our Plexus Slim called the Plexus Slim Accelerator for those people that want to lose weight yesterday. And now our accelerator is all natural. It's made up of some natural caffeine from dark chocolate, red tea, and green tea extracts. And when you take your accelerator, we suggest that you take it with the Slim shortly after breakfast. So you'll eat some breakfast, you'll mix up your Slim, and you'll take your accelerator all at the same time. In fact, we would love to pass around a little bit of our Slim for those of you in here that have never tried it. I'm going to get my assistant Vanna here to pass a little bit around this, and while we're doing, I'm going to ask 2 people or 3 people to give us our testimony. I talked to you before the meeting, so if you'd just be so kind as to give us your testimony. And that's what's happening during those few minutes, okay? Now, with our Plexus Slim and Plexus Slim Accelerator, our company is all about supporting you on your losing weight journey. And so we do have some support products. We have our Plexus Bio Cleanse. This product is an all-natural product. And don't let the word cleanse scare you. It's a very gentle product. You don't have to run for the exercise. But it helps get your digestive tract in order, and it helps oxygenate the body. We also have another support product called Plexus Probio 5. And this product does 2 things. It keeps the bad fungi away from your body and keeps the good fungi good in your body. One of the bad fungi is Candida. Candida is a yeast overgrowth that both men and women can get. And if you have this, it really prevents you from losing weight. So get back with the ambassador that invited you here to learn more about a saliva test that you can take to see if you have Candida. And if you do, we recommend that you take 2 Probio 5 before you go to bed to get rid of that. We also have a third support product, which is our Plexus 96. This is our protein meal on the go. We are not a meal replacement type of products. But what we do know is that a lot of times people get busy and they tend to skip meals, and we don't want anyone skipping a meal. So therefore, we've come out with a protein drink that's full of proteins and vitamins. You take the packet, add it to a bottle of water, shake it up and drink it. It's better than going through the golden arches. And so, at least until you can get somewhere and have the meal that you deserve. Also, for those of you that tend to snack at night, you can do all types of things with this product. We have about 247 recipes to make it worth your while. But when you only start with 96 calories, you can do a lot of things to this product. It comes in a little package here that makes it very easy to tote, ladies, in your purse, or you can put it in your glove compartment of your car, or gentlemen, it fits really nicely into your man bag. Now, I do know this, that a lot of people that struggle to lose weight, because weight puts so much tension on your joints, a lot of people that are diabetic, pre-diabetic, or struggle to lose weight have chronic pain. In fact, 1 in 3 Americans have chronic pain. And so we have a great chronic pain relief system. The first 2 steps in our system, the main ingredient in this is lipinol, which comes from the green lip mussel, and our first step is a cream. You actually just put the cream where you're having some issues, and we have people tell us within 5 to 10 minutes that pain is gone. It's amazing. So that's for more immediate results. However, if you would like more permanent results, you'll want to get into our fast release capsules, and we have people taking the capsules that have a more permanent relief from their chronic pain. And to finish up our chronic pain relief, we have our nerve support system, which actually helps the regeneration and regeneration of your nerves. And that kind of completes our product category. Now, does anybody have a question on how the product works? And I take just a minute for a question or two, because I'm not going to give them a whole lot of time to think on it, because what's my end results? See if they want to buy the product, wholesale or retail, right? So I got to get to the other part. So I've given them just enough information, not enough information that they can not go out and repeat it, but hopefully I have said something to strike their interest, whether it was when we started with talking about weight loss, or we talked about the digestive, or we don't know what caught their attention. It could have been the breast kids because they know someone has breast cancer or cysts or whatever. You don't know what's going to catch their attention. So you just want to make sure that you give it justice by just giving a little bit about each of the products. Because if I told you everything that Plexus Slim has ever done for someone, we would never leave. We'd have to spend the night there, right? So why do you think we only have 2 testimonies on the testimonial call? Because we can't fit any more in because we're in a time slot. And people's time is the most important thing. And if you tell them, hey, if your guest says, oh, you got to come to this little presentation with me, we'll be in and out of there in an hour, and 2.5 hours later, you've got a very disgruntled person sitting outside. Now, you're all excited because you just want to hear more and more testimonies, but the guest has heard enough and they're ready to go. So you want to make sure that that you're just aware of the time slot that you're in. So if you're someone that's doing the presentation and you find yourself that you get distracted, or you tell stories, or whatever the case may be, have someone out in the audience that kind of gives you a little thumbs up that it's time to move on. You know who that person is that you can rely on, okay? And in the beginning when we did meetings, even though there may have only been 3 or 4 of us around the table, we practiced, and we would take parts. Someone would do the product presentation, and someone else would do the content. In the very beginning, we even, just to give us practice and help your ambassadors, 3 categories, someone different did each category. And so just whatever it takes to include your ambassadors into the presentation so they can learn with you. How many of you here already hold some type of presentation? This is great. And so you want to be able, if you're not duplicatable, then people won't do what you're doing. So if you get up here and you start throwing out, if you start throwing out words and ingredients that people don't understand, then how can you expect a new ambassador to be duplicatable? So I'm kind of like silly stupid. And so I figure that's pretty duplicatable. And if I keep it simple and silly, and so can everybody else. And then if you want to add those extra tips in it, you certainly can. But I just believe the more duplicatable I keep it, then the more people can do exactly what I did. Because this whole business is just about being duplicatable. Okay? So that kind of ends the presentation part. And so now I usually say, except I don't do this part, slide guy, could you move to the next slide? There we go. All right. So I wish I did this in the presentations, make it feel kind of important. But then I say, well, that finishes the product presentation, and we have such a burning desire to get the word out to people about this product, because I know if people knew what this product was doing for Susie, who just stood up and said she lost 10 pounds, they would want to know more about it. And so in order to get the word out about this product, we need some help. And that work takes us to our second category, because if we can get more people to help us talk about this product, then we can start helping more people get healthy. So what I'd like to talk to you now about is a little bit about our compensation plan. There's actually 11 ways that you can earn an income with Plexus. But to keep it simple, I put it into 3 categories. Category number 1 is retail and wholesale commission. Category number 2 is business building and achievement bonuses. And category number 3 is profit sharing and Plexus points. Now, At this point, you could simply just show me the money brochure and read it. Hit the high points. Don't try to read everything. Just hit the high points, the ones that I think they're numbered. Yeah, or they have a little asterisk beside it. You could just read this and give just enough information for people to make a decision. Because the whole reason a person's there is either to make a decision to become a customer of yours, whether it be retail or preferred, or whether or not to sign up as an ambassador. But they can't do that unless you give them enough information about the product and enough information about the comp plan. So that's what you're there to do. So when you move into the comp plan, if you keep it into 3 categories, it simplifies it for you as well. So if you just talk about the one category and you're not trying to go all the way down to the profit sharing and come back to the commission retail, it'll make it simpler for you. Does that make sense? So if you just kind of stay on task with the categories, I think it'll make it easier for you. Because I know there are some people that have been an ambassador for quite a while and they can't repeat the compensation thing, and there's a lot of that is because you're trying to tell everything. There are 11 ways, but you don't need to go through all the 11 ways. You just need to kind of group them together by doing by categories. If they want to know all 11 ways, you've given them a brochure or a piece of paper that has all that information on it, okay? Or send them to your website. So now let's talk about the 10 ways. This sign says 10 ways because I don't go into the double diamond. It's just not necessary because they don't even know how to become a diamond, let alone a double diamond, okay? So I just talk about the 10 ways and I break it down into categories. So I get started like this. So I say, we could really use your help. We're looking for ambassadors. So we would love to tell you a little bit about our compensation plan. If it's not for you, that is fine. But if you know anybody that would like to make a little extra income by helping people get healthy, we would please ask you to share this information with your friends and family. You see what I just did? I gave it to them and I took it back. I always like to give people things and take it back because when you take it back, they want it more. So I say, we are looking for people to help us. We're on a mission to help as many people as we can get healthy. And we're looking for ambassadors. So if you know anyone, this may or may not be for you, but if you know anyone that would love to make a little extra money, we would ask you to please share this next part that I'm going to share with you with them. And it is the 10 ways that we earn money with Plexus. Category number 1 is retail and wholesale commission. You see, you can become an ambassador for only $34.95 for an entire year. You get to buy wholesale, and for that $34.95, you get a replicated website that you can go on and buy the product for wholesale, and your customers can go to this website and buy retail or preferred. Now, the company does ask us to do one thing to be qualified to make money all the different ways, and the one qualification is to do $100 worth of business during the course of a calendar month. Now, stepping over here for a minute to tell you, that is the one thing that trips everybody up, and that's the easiest thing there is to do in this business. That is the easiest thing to do in our business. So, I want to make sure that my guests know how easy that is without me saying this is the easiest thing to do in our business, okay? So I'm stepping back into presentation mode and I say, our company asks us to do one thing, and that's $100 worth of business in the course of a calendar month. And the way that could work is, if I go to my website and I buy a bag of Plexus Slim, it will cost me $69.95. However, if my friend Donna goes to my website and she buys a bag, it's going to cost her $84.95. So if you add those two together, because you see our company doesn't care where the $100 comes from, whether it's from you or a retail customer or preferred customer, if I go in and buy one at $69.95 and my friend Donna goes in and buys one for $84.95, have I made $100? In fact, I'm over, right? What about if I go in and buy 2 bags at $69.95 and come back and sell my friend Donna a bag and keep the bag for myself? Have I done $100 worth of business? Well, I think everyone raised their hand earlier when I asked you if you knew anybody that was diabetic or pre-diabetic or struggles to lose weight, so surely you and a family friend or member should be able to go through 2 bags of Slim during the course of the month. And a lot of times I'll say, how many of our ambassadors in here could do $100 all by yourself? And I have people raise their hands so that people can see, oh, $100 is not a big deal. And I also say, well, if you accidentally do more than $100 in the course of a calendar month, the company will actually give you a 15% commission back on everything over the first $100. And if you accidentally, your website does $500 worth of business within the course of the month, they'll give you a 25% commission back on that. So how many of you here have sold at least $500 in the course of the month? And I get people to raise their hand. And I say, and how many of you know that in your first couple months it was all by accident? Yeah, Still is today sometimes, right? But if you sell 500 and you get a 25% commission back on that, and it takes $100 to be qualified, you're going to get a 25% back on $400. How much would that be? $100. So our retail and our wholesale commissions is an amazing category. So it says volume comes from your personal purchases and from your customers who purchase through your replicated website. Now, that leads us to category number 2, business building and achievement bonuses, because you see, once you decide to become an ambassador, you get a one-time opportunity to purchase the product for less than wholesale. So let's see if we got a smart crowd here. How many of you know that it is smarter to buy wholesale versus retail? Now, how many of you know that it's even smarter to purchase less than wholesale? Yeah. So you have a one-time opportunity to purchase the welcome pack, is what we call it, for less than wholesale. There are 2 price categories, $99 and $199, and it doesn't matter which one you choose, you're an ambassador either way. The $99 is more like for personal use. So you need to tell them about the welcome packs. You don't need to go into details about them. Here are the 2 things I tell them about a welcome pack. The $99 is more like personal use. The $199 is because your friend is about to drive you nuts to get involved so they can order their Plexus Slim. So the $199 gives you enough for a friend or 2 or a family member. But the choice is yours. However, as an ambassador, every time you sponsor someone and they come in with a welcome pack, you get paid. So if Donna decides she no longer wants to buy retail from me and now she's going to buy wholesale because she's got a couple of family friends or family members now buying from her as well, then she's going to purchase the $199 welcome pack. And our company pays us for every welcome pack that's purchased. And we'll round it off to keep the numbers easier. So she bought a $199 welcome pack. We'll round that off to $200 because you see, the company takes half the cost of the welcome pack and it comes back to the ambassadors that sponsored you. It comes back to the ambassador that sponsored you and 3 people above you. It's divided by 50, 25, 15, and 10%. So if Donna comes in with a $199 welcome pack, we'll round it off to $200, I'm going to get a check for $50. And the person that sponsored me is going to get a check for $25. And the person that sponsored that person is going to get a check for $15, and the person above that person is a check for $10. Because you and the 3 people above you split every single welcome pack that comes in. The good news is I can sponsor as many Donnas as I want to. But then Donna can turn around and sponsor Tony. And then Donna gets the $50, I get the $25, the person who sponsored me gets $15, and the person above that gets $10. And Donna can go out there and sponsor as many Tonys as she wants to, right? So everybody gets paid, and the way